The challenge before us. From my perspective, it would seem that before us we have a challenge. We have created an economy that isn't very balanced, largely because finance has become the go-to industry, but we have barely scratched the surface of our true ability to use this tool with more intent than to merely profit, gain, and grow, the size of our carbon footprint and the sizes of our egos. The way things have been done before have largely been based on hierarchy, but the way in which we're moving now is much more about democracy. Many of us have been very well trained to serve the people at the top, but many more have realized it's time for this to stop. It seems as if we've reached a point where there could be some tipping, and we can give power to the people if we can do some more equipping of understanding who we really are and just what we can do to flip the hierarchy and create the world anew. So let's start it out. We all have hearts and we struggle with emotions, but they make us feel alive, and they offer us the notion that the water in our tears is the water that sustains us. And like tides and ebbs, rivers and streams, the flow does much to change us. And how we deal with the waves we feel, the process of that catharsis, is ultimately up to us. If we live our lives as artists, we create our moments and listen to our minds. We choose the voices to ignore and the ones that help us find the way to higher purpose and actions that have meaning. When we can feel of service and ideas start their streaming. Just as water becomes a cloud, our emotions become ideas. And when that light bulb goes off, usually our tendency is to start another business, to create another stream of revenue to rise to the challenge, to manifest our dream. For generations it has been enough to engage with things we create and sell. We're the only species to have art or markets, and we think it's pretty swell. But as we grow in knowledge, hopefully we also grow in wisdom. And as we continue to evolve, we have to make new decisions. Humans are a complex lot. We are more than just thoughts and emotions. We also have these bodies, like land emerged from oceans. The water that flows through us renders blood and flesh and bone. Inhabiting these earth suits, our minds and hearts have found a home. Living in our bodies, we experience the world, and matter becomes what matters as reality unfurls. Because we're different than other critters, we make art and we make music, we often get caught up in our own power, and sometimes we abuse it. Some of us don't even consider ourselves as being part of nature, and this ignorant entitlement creates some really bad behavior. When we emerge from this planet, we claim it as our birthright. Then we strip it, mine it, and suck it dry, never realizing that it's finite. But if we can get back to reality, remember we're beasts and realize we are burdens. Our species is called Homo sapiens, and that's supposed to mean wise person. Now, whoever came up with that one was feeling pretty hopeful, because it seems our foolish ways have the planet in a chokehold. Now, it's not all our faults because we've been trained to be consumers. But we gotta wake up and implement wisdom if we want our species to have a future. We can still be artists and we can still have business, but we've got to use some discipline. We got to be more than programmed consumers. We've got to rise up and be citizens. So if you want to change the world, this is your opportunity to realize we are all part of the all. We are all one big global community. We are all part of this greater whole. We are all one people. We truly are all connected, and you don't have to go chasing steeples by embracing religion or a one true way, or even considering God as a father. You just get to a point when you're actually loving yourself when you're showing love to another. And this love can spread like fire, bringing warmth and bringing power. And if I call it the Holy Spirit, I am sure to get some doubters. But spirit is really what it is, this energy that binds us. It speaks to us intuitively and offers us the guidance we need to continue the journey we're on, to become what we're going to be. Either a species that gorged itself to extinction or one that learned to live sustainably. We need to bring our focus back to what's really important. The tunnel vision of money has caused our sight to shorten. We've come to a point where we mostly honor those who accumulate capital. But beyond just the things that we buy and sell, life itself is much more valuable. So when we think about money, let's think of it as a currency, an energy that's supposed to flow, though it's not always used that way currently. We've been taught to pander to the mentally ill who feel the need to hoard. But we don't need this damn stagnation. It's time that we move toward the economy of koinonia, as the Greeks say, the rules of the house, where we see a bigger picture of the world we're in and all that it endows. While nature offers her elements of water, air, earth, and fire, we have heart, mind, body, and spirit, and it's time that we reach higher than the competitive limits of life on the edge, where nothing's more important than profit. Because if we sacrifice it all to that machine, it's gonna be catastrophic. In this new networked economy, let's empower people to channel their economic flow to give each of us the freedom to be the artists of our lives, to mind to our own business, to cultivate a more collaborative community, and to become better citizens. If we're going to be a community, we've got to understand. We all come from different traditions and tell stories from other lands. Yet in spite of that diversity, or maybe it's because of, we are all one people. And if we can be responsive to how we want life to unfold so that we can live on purpose, to be the artists of our lives, and to play that role in earnest, we realize our lives are about our relationships with people, space, and time. That is where true wealth is, and I think it's such a crime that we don't realize the value of neighbors, friends, and camaraderie. Because the best kind of work is what you don't get paid for, but you know you're part of the core economy. For a very long time, we have served the economy of the market. And while we will still honor it, we need better homes and we need better gardens. So let's make it our business to run our businesses wisely. Because outside our bubble, the market we made, there's a planetary economy. As we've made our way through our revolutions of agrarian, agriculture, and industry, we've all just been figuring things out as we go, and it's not always been done brilliantly. But now that we have gone through the revolution of information, I think we would be wise to open up to the revolution of wisdom. And so if we are ready to live our lives more consciously, we will realize that life is a gift and know the wealth of the gift economy. That's all money really is, the gift that we exchange to serve as a proxy for trust, so the world won't seem so strange. Let the energy we generate and participation of this thing we call life be directed toward where we want it to go, alleviate the strife of making things more complex than they really need to be, because it's going to happen anyway. It happens naturally. But let's please all remember, our goal shouldn't be to turn everything into money. Our goal should be to create a way to live that is harmonious, enjoyable, and of quality.